We have two scientists right now present in the meeting. We have one a very great person. He has served for Indian Air Force for 30 years. Wing Commander Sanjay Rajagopal sir from state Kerala, and
We're really
he's
honored to have
really
you
a
with us.
person. Yes, he's a very great person. He has done a lot of things for Indian Air Force, and he's connected with various satellite projects and all. And he was flying so many fighter jets of India. And we have another very young person, Rakesh Misraji, project manager of Pratham team. It was the first student satellite team of India from IIT Bombay, and he was the one who carried out the project, and that's how we have moved forward. So yes, and we have another one scientist will be joining us. He is the very expert in robotics. Right now, he is facing some network issue. So once he will get connected, I will inform you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. We are really privileged to have you all with us today. Yeah. Welcome you all to Scholars Indian School, our family of all these brilliant students from grade 9 to 12. They have joined with us today to be a part of this session. And it's great to see you all here. I mean, it's going to be a very enthusiastic session because many of them are looking forward for space studies too. So before we begin with our session, there is a small welcome from our part. I know that Ms. Dino Lasmi is going to do the welcome speech, but then on our behalf, there will be a small introduction. So before we move on, let me invite Dana of grade 9 to recite a few lines from the Holy Quran. Over to you, Dana.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Shall I now request a duet of 11 signs for the UAE national anthem and the Indian national anthem to be shared on the screen, please? A duet.
Yes.
Children, can you all stand in attention position, please?
Ma'am, Indian national anthem also now I should play?
Yes. And before
Yes.
we move on, and before we give the opportunity to Dinul Azmi, shall I request Afrin Zubi of 11 Science to quickly welcome them all for this wonderful session. Afrin, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Greetings to one and all present here. Welcome to the Space Exploration Program by Igniting Dreams of Young Minds, IDYM. On the behalf of Scholars Indian School, I respectfully and cordially welcome our chief guest, Mr. Ravishankar Kumar, Ms. Dinu Lasmi, Mr. Sanjay Rajgopal, Mr. Ratnesh Mishra, Dr. Parmod Sridharan, Mrs. Zeenat Munavra, and a warm welcome to our principal, teachers, and my dear friends. Before beginning, I would like to share an astounding fact about our space, and that is that there are more stars in the galaxy than grains of sand on Earth. Astonishing, isn't it? Universe is expanding. There is so much about space, solar system, and galaxy that we still don't know. Space is vast, with billions of stars, planets which are yet to be discovered and acknowledged. Well, my knowledge on space exploration is sure to be limited. However, we're extremely privileged to have experts from IDYM to enlighten us about this topic. So, without any delay, let's begin with the programs. Thank you.
So it's all left to you. So it's your time to begin as per your program order. So we are all ears.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for passing us the. Okay. I just request you one thing. Please kindly change Ratnesh Mishra ji to guest. Okay. That one, I'm just going through it. Please change it. Now I request Dinu Lasmi, brand ambassador of IDYM Foundation, to kindly welcome our scientist and all the school authorities. Dinu, please proceed.
A very good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm so delighted to see you all together here. This is Dinu Lashmi, brand ambassador of Igniting Dreams of Young Minds Foundation. It is my pleasure to welcome you all and thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you who have been with us today for the workshop, and we are really glad to host this workshop on the fascinating place Ras Al Khaimah with you all. Once again, I warmly welcome you everybody. On behalf of IDYM Foundation, I would like to incline towards my sincere gratitude to all of you who generously work hard with us to make this event come together to become a victory. I warmly welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Wing Commander Sanjay Rajgopal sir. I felt grateful to welcome Dr. Pramod Sridharan sir, Engineer Ratnesh Mishra sir from IIT Bombay, and Mrs. Zeenat Munavra ma'am. I heartily welcome Scholars Indian School Ras Al Khaimah. Also, I warmly welcome Engineer Ravishankar Kumar sir, founder of IDYM. I welcome our dear students who are set to make this event a remarkable one. And our Igniting Dreams of Young Minds Foundation main aim is to promote space and satellite education for every young minds, that is for the entire student community from any school and colleges all around the world. Well, I hope workshop based on satellite exploration will help you to improve knowledge and skill. So I request everyone to utilize the golden opportunities of IDYM, take a shot and join with us on this wonderful journey. With all enthusiasm, I welcome you all once again to the momentous event. Today will be full of fun and learning. A big thank to each and every one of you present here for joining our program. Hope you will enjoy this workshop. Have a fabulous day.
Thank you, Denul. Thank you so much. And now it's time to welcome a great air warrior, Wing Commander Sanjay Rajgopal sir, to address the student. Wing Commander sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for inviting me to this function. A very, very warm good afternoon to all children, teachers, and all those present in this group. I'm really delighted to see a lot of scientists and academicians in the group. Well, am I visible also, or
no, sir? Your camera is off. Please, can you on it?
My camera is on. My camera is on.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, no problem.
Fine, not a problem. I'll Well, let's not waste time. Let's get ahead. In the meantime, if the moderator can switch on the camera, it would be good. I'll try and share my screen. Let me see if that is possible.
Yeah, you can share it, sir.
Okay, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir. Please proceed.
Excellent. Now, children, this is not going to be a lecture, because lecture is something that you must be listening from your teachers, from your parents. All through the day, you are listening to this. I don't want to really bore you with the lectures. So I'll tell you some stories. I just wanted to know, how many of you have seen the movie Pirates of the Caribbean? Johnny Depp movie, a couple of movies were there. Anybody has seen that movie?
Children, you can message in the message box. We can see from here. Please, everyone can raise your hand and you can message. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I'm not able to see the chat box. It's fine. So people would have seen that. I want to ask another question. These pirates, they usually cover one of their eyes. There's a black patch that they put on one of the eye, and that is how they raid a ship. Any idea why do they do that?
To recognize themselves as a pirate.
To recognize themselves as a pilot. Great. I'll tell you why they actually do. See, what happens is when they are raiding a ship, pirates are actually robbers and thieves. Their job is to go and raid ships on high seas. So when they raid a ship, they carry their weapons and they have to neutralize all those people who are there. When they go down the deck, again they might find people and they have to neutralize. So when they go down the deck, what happens is when you are on the floor or outside on the ship, when you have sunlight there, your eyes are used to the sunlight. The moment you get into the dark area, you may not be able to see. So what they would do is they will move that patch from the open eye to the closed, from the closed eye to the open eye. So the other eye is actually tuned to see in the dark. Why I'm telling this story is the purpose of IDYM is to open that new vision for you, for this new career opportunity which is there, a new field of science which had probably remained obscure for a very long time, and which is the satellite and the space. We have a couple of satellite scientists who will be telling you. In fact, when we talk about space, we are only talking about stars and planets and things which are very far away. Closer to us itself, we have got a lot of satellites which do a lot of things. And it is today possible for even small children of schools to make satellites and send them into the space. You will get to know a little bit more about it as we go through this session. Right. I will not go to the quiz because you all are in mute. I'll talk about this drone strike. I hope you would have heard about Predator. It's a drone. Now Predator carries Hellfire missiles, and this is a very, very potent mission. Without a pilot, a plane flies, goes and drops a missile and kills the necessary crew. Very recently, something had happened. This was on 3rd of January 2020 in Iraq. There was an Iranian general, General Soleimani, who went to Iraq on 3rd of January, and as he was coming out of the airport building, a Predator plane came, sent a missile, and it came and pinpointed this man and killed him. Now this created a big issue. Now I'm not talking about the politics or the reason for killing. Let's look at the technology. It is today possible to do this, and everybody talks about Predator and the Hellfire missile. But what goes behind is also important. I'll give you a brief idea. Now when the Predator flies, the Predator is controlled from a ground control station. The Predator also controls another Predator which is much ahead of it. So if you have to carry out an attack probably 1,000 kilometers away, it is possible by a ground control station which is 1,000 kilometers behind the enemy lines. How it happens is these predators and the ground control stations are connected through a satellite. Now there comes the importance of the satellite. As long as we never had satellites, these kind of activities could not have taken place. Satellites' importance is not just in the warfare. I'll tell you some of the other uses. We all use GPS. There was a time when if you have to go from one place to the other, you have to stop at 10 different places and ask people as to where does this road go. Especially in India, since there are too many roads and too many villages, at every junction you have to stop and ask which way to go. Today, nobody does that. Why? Because you have a GPS. Now, GPS is something which you actually look into in a mobile device. But in fact, this is happening because there's a constellation of GPS satellites which are revolving around the Earth. There comes the first utility of satellites. Let's talk about high resolution imaging. Today, it is possible to take pictures from the satellites, which are almost 100 kilometers up in the sky, away from the reach of all the missiles that we have, conventional missiles that we have. And it can take pictures as accurate as to pinpoint the name tag of a person. That much accuracy and resolution of imaging is possible, again, because of the satellite, that you can take it up and take images in hostile environment also. Let's talk about night vision photography. Again, night vision photography is something which was developed as a different technology, but because of satellites, we can use this to go into exercise. And it is very easy nowadays to pinpoint the schools of fishers so that the fishermen need not go and search the whole of the sea to find out where they can catch fish. If you can get pictures from the satellite and directly, if it is given to the fisherman, he would know exactly where to go and catch. Not just fishes, but sea and oceans are filled with a lot of other mineral resources. Satellites can be used for that also. We can use satellite for geological survey. You may talk about earthquakes and the tectonic movements. In addition to that, we also can talk about these minerals and ores which are available. DTH is another very, very prominent thing that you all would have seen. 20 years back, there was no DTH, and how we used to get television, multiple channels of television in our house was through cables. And if you walk on streets, you would find the street poles filled with cables. Today, because of the DTH, you don't need those cables. DTH has become efficient and possible only because there are satellites. Sat phones is another thing, though it has got a lot of negative impact also, but satellite phone is another important utility of satellites. You can get coverage in areas which are not generally covered by a mobile tower. A mobile tower has got a limitation. It can cover maximum maybe around 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers. But if you're talking about going into deserts, if you're talking about going into deep, dense forests, if you're talking of going onto mountains, the only way that you can communicate is through satellites and sat phones. Telemetry for medical purposes is another major area in which satellite is going to be used. I don't want to take much time. Why? Because we are already running short of time. Just wanted you children, because I know a lot of you children are from India. Can you identify this statue? And if somebody is looking at the chat box, can you read out the answers? Has any child been able to identify this?
Wing commander, sir. Like,
Yes.
I think you have to switch on the screen sharing and then switch it on again,
Yes,
because
change the
we are
slide.
just yes, right. So because share screen is the slide one and not the presentation one.
Okay, fine. I will stop the sharing. Let's see. So, did anyone identify that picture that I showed?
It wasn't visible, sir.
It wasn't visible, is it? Oh, I am sorry. Just give me a moment. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is it visible
Yeah,
now?
it's visible, sir. It's visible. Yeah. Please proceed.
Good. So, can anyone identify this statue?
Sir, Statue of Unity.
Excellent,
Great.
excellent. So, let's not waste time. It's the Statue of Unity, the world's tallest statue, with a height of 182 meters, built in India. Now, this costed 3,000 crore rupees. The building of this statue costed 3,000 crore rupees. Now, it's a huge amount of money. My question to you is, how many of you think this was a waste of money? Right. Again, I am not able to see.
Sir, they
your
are
chat.
raising the hand. They are raising the hand raising.
But when I am presenting it, what is happening is I am not able to see anything on the
Yeah, okay,
screen.
no issue, sir. I can see that the students are very active. I can see that.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So, let me tell you something, that usually what happens is when you look at these pictures, and when this kind of a question is posed, there are many people who will come up and say that this was a waste of money. 3,000 crores, you could have built hospitals. India is a poor country. We could have distributed money to the people. We could have distributed food. We could have made educational institutions, schools, colleges. We could have made destitute homes. Yes, all those concerns are right. But this statue has already been made, and it must have been, the decision may have been taken by a group of people. They would have also weighed all these things. Today, when we are talking about something that has happened in the past, is there a point to look at the negative aspect of this? This is where I just wanted to talk to you about positive attitude. Now, I'll tell you something. Now, what is the reason for negativity? Why do we look at things negatively? Is one of the major reasons is we are filled with negativity around us. All the information that comes in the newspaper, almost all the news that comes in news channels, almost all the discussions that we listen from the elders around us is all negative. They all keep telling that whatever is happening is wrong. And that is why we also start thinking negatively. What if we start looking at things positively? You know what? All those people who are successful are people who are very, very positive. Positivity means they think that what they are doing will take them and the rest of the society in the right direction. Now that right direction is in his own thinking, and everybody has got a different route. But it is something that people from small age must practice. And at this moment, I will just give you a small idea. There are many ways of improving positivity, but one small, simple, and effective way is a research which was presented by Sean Acker. Now, you all can look up the internet. There's a lot of information available about him. And this Sean Acker has actually said that if you practice these 5 things, gratitude, giving, exercise, meditation, and journaling, if you practice these 5 things for 40 days, he promises that you will become positive. I will not take much time. I just gave you a brief introduction about positivity. If you people are interested, if you people think that you need to turn positive. And if you want a way to do that, this is one of the best ways. I will stop here. I would thank you all for the time that you gave. I wish you all children all the best. Do well in your life. Help the society grow. The rest of the future of this world rests on your shoulders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request man of the moment and work for 8 years for building a satellite called Pratham. He is with us, Engineer Ratnesh Misra. Ratnesh ji, kindly unmute yourself and take the charge. Ratnesh ji, can you hear me?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah,
Thank you
please.
so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sanjay sir, for inspiring this to all the students and with great information. And also, I would like to thank all the school authorities, Ambili ma'am, and Afreen for very nice introduction, and Dana for the poem. So, first of all, a great congratulations to you all for showing the enthusiasm and excitement about the space exploration and the satellite related stuff. So, I myself, Ratnesh Mishra, we were part of a student satellite project, and we actually built the satellite. So I will share my journey about the satellites and other things. But first of all, we had a great sessions with workshops all around India, and now with international places with you. So I am personally so excited with this. And also, so before starting and going on the space thing, first of all, the best part of space is the UAE and India is connected by two things, by land and by the sky. But land has boundaries, but sky doesn't have. The space doesn't have those boundaries. So that's the best part of space is it connects all. It unites us all in any of the space or any exploration projects. So that's the best thing of working in this part. And before starting, I would like to ask you two basic questions, and to all the people present here, like even professor, teachers, everyone can answer with either a message in the chat box or they can raise their hand. So, first question: have you all ever wandered to touch the sky? आप लोगों ने आसमान छूने का सपना देखा है? So you can message in the chat, you can raise hand. Okay. All the teachers might have thought about it in their childhood. Ki I will touch the sky. Okay. I can see few hand raised by students. Now, second question: have you all ever wandered to roam around the whole world? दुनिया घूमने का सपना देखा है आप लोग? Okay. Nice. I'm sure you all in your childhood might have excited about this. So I personally don't know whether I completed those dreams or not, but I was part of a project satellite named Pratham, which did both. Okay, how? The satellite Pratham is revolving around Earth every 90 minutes a revolution with a speed of 7.8 kilometer per second. So if I might have been the satellite, I might have reached UAE within an hour. Okay. So that's how the satellite is revolving around the whole world. Okay. And what about the second dream? It not just touched the sky, it even touched the space. So that's why we call this journey as a journey of dreams. Okay. So that's why anything on the satellite and space is about dreams. Okay, now I would like to ask you a few more things. When you look at the sky or the space, what exactly you can see? Are you able to see stars or moon or sun? Okay, or darkness, right? Okay. So when you look at the sky or the space, what I personally see is space is like a drawing book, an unlimited, unexplored drawing book where you can draw anything. Each and every part could be drawn. And so if you just focus on the sun, you might end up researching another solar system or any other sun. If you just focus on the darkness, you might end up doing research on some black hole or black hole. If you just focus on the stars, what not, some or the other stars in your name could be researched, could be done, could be explored. Okay, so that's why we call the space as an unexplored, unlimited place where you can do anything. Okay, so that's why these space things are so exciting and crucial and important. So I would like to share my personal journey with the satellite. And so you all might have seen, so have you all seen any of the satellite launch? Like any rocket launch or any PSLV launch? Okay, not much. So when I was a child, I used to see this in TV. Okay, I used to dream about it, ki how the satellites goes and about the space. And when in 2016, when I was around 20-year-old, I personally took the satellite and kept it on the rocket. So that was the proud moment for me. What I used to see in TVs in my childhood, that place I actually got the chance to go there. Okay, like what you might have seen, most of the people say ki you have to live the dream. Okay, you have to sleep with the dream, you have to keep the dream. So that's why I personally took the satellite with the vehicle, kept there in the rocket. So I traveled with the dreams, I lived with dreams, I slept in a room where the satellite building was there. So these are the things which people say ki you have to live it. So we got the chance to actually go with it. Okay, so that's why this all is actually a dream, and if you dream it, you can definitely do it. Okay, so few more questions on this. So why the space science and this thing is so crucial? Okay, so everybody's called this is something rocket science, or this is something. So this is actually the rocket science, but it is not that complicated, which people used to tell. Okay, you used to think ki there might be a space scientist with a long white beard with old age person as a scientist. Definitely not. So I am present here, and there are many more colleagues who are working in this field. So young. I'm right now 26-year-old. So I launched the satellite by ISRO. So ISRO is the launching facility and the launching place from where the satellite, all the Indian satellites get launched. So the launch happened when I was 20 years old. So that's how this journey is, and that actually helped and built the confidence to be present in front of you. So first of all, why this is crucial is, so you all might have a laptop or a mobile, or maybe you are watching me on mobile. Okay, if anything goes bad in the mobile, what you do? Either you go to a mechanic, okay, or you do your own thing and try to fix it. Okay, or you just give it to repair center or something. Can you ever imagine what would be the scenario in the case of satellite? If there is something or some screws goes out, okay, in the satellite, is it possible to call the space center and say, hey, please send an astronaut because my satellite is got some error or fault? Definitely not, right? Definitely that is not a possible option. That's why the space doesn't give you a second chance. Okay, you have to make it perfect at once, at ground, all the possible ways. So that's why the space projects are very precisely handled, very qualitatively handled, and professional, and with professionalism. Because when we were child, we didn't know how to talk about it. We didn't had any idea ki how the satellite is, how it works. But we all got through in this process and get into it. So because whenever we get to the Indian space centers, they have a policy, zero defect in space system. That is for the simple reason because you have so much pressure from the government, from the people's money is involved in this on all such big projects. So that's why this is so crucial to be perfect at once. And we actually got those chance. And with the help of that, I would like to share one more point about the space thing, because you all can go and Google these things in and get plenty of data and knowledge about the space, satellites, and everything. Okay, but why personally we are here as a foundation or as a person, why I am interested to teach you is the satellite or space project is everything around you. Okay, it is linked to every daily action around you. Okay, so if I give you an example, so can you imagine the satellite also wear mask? Okay, there is no COVID in space, right? But still, the satellite wear mask. So you all might have seen. So have you seen the satellite with a golden layer on top of it? Anybody like with yes, nice. So those layers are actually the mask for the satellite, right? They prevent the high space radiations and they prevent the satellite. So now suppose you all take food for the energy, right? Do you know how the satellite takes energy? The solar panel light, sunlight, right? Correct. So with the help of sunlight, it actually takes the energy. So like you have an eyes and ears to actually sense it, right? Similarly, satellite have sensors to actually know where the satellite is, where the Earth is, okay, where I am actually going and how I am orbiting around Earth. So these all are just the basic parts like a human being, just similar to it the satellite is. Okay, you have hands and legs to perform. Similarly, the satellites have those things to actually perform. So we are just here to tell you that satellite or any space project is linked to every daily action which is around you. It is with every basic physics, chemistry, any principle around you could be linked to the satellite. Okay, so you don't have to be worried about why can't I so who is the like I am able to make the satellite or not. Definitely those questions shouldn't come. The only question is why can't I build the satellite? So if a person like me from the college actually build the satellite, why can't students from schools can build this? So why don't your school can build the satellite? So if out of this workshops, if out of 200 people, if 2 people or 10 people can come up and say, I want to build my satellite, that's the power of this workshops and the thing. See, everybody can think about it, and not just the space projects, anything on it, anything which you want to explore. You can just come up with, why can't I build this? Why can't I explore this? So that's why, that's how our journey actually started. And what we personally worked was not just a journey of one day. It's not just a journey of 1 week or 1 month. Okay, not even a year. We worked on it for 8 long years. I personally worked for last my 4 years. Then I was the team leader in it. And in my tenure, I'm like so proud of this. We actually got the satellite launched. And maybe 10 years later, to my child, I can say there is something in space which we have actually worked on and we have sent, and it is keep continuing rotating about the Earth. So that's the thing. That's the power of igniting, and that's the power of dreams. So you all might have, know Dr. Kalam, late Dr. Kalam, who was the expert and the Mahanayak of this space and science technologies, right? And his every vision has 2 things in common. One is the children and the education. Okay, so IDYM Foundation is coming up with all combining these 3 things: space, children, and education, and bringing us and connecting to all the school children, the college students all around the world to actually dream about it. Okay, and if you can dream it, you can definitely you'll be able to do it. So that's my personal journey, and that's my overview with this space. I'm sure you all are definitely excited, and I will be really happy if someone can come up with I want to build this, or share your experience with us about this. So yes, that's it, I think, from my side. Over to you, Raviji and Abli ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ratnesh. It was very inspiring word by you, and the children are very excited. I can see in the this thing chat box and all. They are raising their hands. Yes, children, we are also excited to help you to build your own satellite. Yes, and he is the Ratnesh Mishra in 22 years of age. When people go to play football or cricket, he has made a satellite for India, and the satellite is still in the ionosphere. And that satellite is helping our country to detect tsunami and all. So he is not only have made a satellite, he is helping humankind also. So thank you, Ratnesh, for your time. Now I would like to share two videos to all of you. One will be the launching of Pratham, and one will be the how launching can take place. So children, just watch that. Yeah. स्क्रीन दिख रहा है रत्नेश जी?
Not yet.
हेलो.
नहीं, अभी
अच्छा,
नहीं
नहीं
दिख
आया?
रहा जी.
अभी आया क्या?
हाँ, yes, just a minute.
आ गया ना?
It's
ठीक है.
coming.
So children, you can watch this one, that Pratham satellite launching video. This is the satellite. Okay.
Raviji, I think right now it's black screen.
अच्छा, तो आप कर सकते हैं क्या वहां से?
So you can share that link, maybe that YouTube link with the school authority if they can play. Amli ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, sir. We can.
I think they are not able to see. Okay, ma'am. We will share to you personally, and then you can share to them. We have two videos that we'll share with all of you. Okay, ma'am. Yes, and now I request. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And now I request Professor M. Abu Bakar sir. Are you there? So kindly speak about today's sessions. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. You can speak about this today's session. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But then I think we have one or two questions from the students.
Yeah, yes,
you will be able to answer. So let me start off, because they have been requesting that they have some doubts to clear. So I think I'll have to move on to them. So let me begin with Ashi. Ashi of grade 10A. I think you've got a question, my dear.
Yes, ma'am, I have. I have a question that how do you detect the location of a satellite if it by chance goes out of range, and what measures are taken if like to make sure it doesn't happen again?
Wow, very nice and very great question. So first of all, similar to so what I told, you can relate it to daily life. So similar to what if you are lost in a traffic. So first thing you try is either connecting to other people, okay, or you check your mobile and check the GPS, right? Similar thing is done in the satellite. So if there is a satellite wants to know its location, it actually checks its own GPS, okay, and so every satellite has their own GPS, okay, which actually tells the satellite ki where exactly the satellite is, okay. And even after that, if something gets different from their particular orbit, there are other satellites which actually keep continuing the scans and the location and based on the signal, okay. So every satellite has a particular signal and which is received at ground by the ground station. So depending on the location and the time of those signals, we are actually able to predict the satellite, where exactly the satellite is. So these are the ways through GPS, through their communications, through other satellites. These are the way through which they actually communicate.
Any other student, if you want to ask, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Ratnesh. Thank you, Ashi. Do we have more questions coming from that side? Raina Verma?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I have one question.
Sure.
So, good afternoon, sir. Really loved your experience. I have one question actually. What is the difference between astronomy and astrology?
Okay, okay. Nice. So, very nice question. So, basically, so those terms are almost similar in terms of, since these things are something which is above the sky. Okay. These both the things research are something above the sky. So, astronomy is mainly on the stars and asteroids and other gauging things. Okay. And astrology also includes everything like the study of the black holes, the galaxies. So those are in terms similar, which is about the space exploration. But yeah, but definitely different from the aerospace and aeronautics. So aerospace and aeronautics are something which is on the rocket side, on the satellite, on the aircraft side. So aerospace is aircraft, aeronautics is rocket, and then astronomy, astrology is above space. So these things are distributed like this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, anyone else from a student side?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yeah,
Please
please.
go on.
Sir, suppose the satellite breaks down while orbiting, and how will it be collected? And will it be a cause for disturbance for the ISS and the other satellites?
Wow, very nice. So actually, this is one of the biggest challenge for by the space communities about the space junk. Okay, so since there are so many number of satellites which are getting launched and at different altitude and different orbits, definitely there is a possible of the space junk. Okay, so once the satellite lifetime is over, there are two ways through which they can actually finish it or make it completely dead. So one is either they bring it down. Okay, so they'll bring it down to the atmosphere surface so that it gets burned in the atmosphere. Okay, so because since with the atmospheric drag, it is basically actually able to burn the satellite. So that is one way. Or the second way is the satellite has to be thrown to a particular orbit, which is actually called a graveyard orbit. Okay, so there is an orbit in space which is actually a graveyard orbit where once the satellite life is over, we actually throw them there. So these are the some methods through which we are actually cleaning the space. And apart from that, the new satellites which are coming up, they have these options inbuilt within the satellites to actually complete. So once after it is complete, either burn it or send it to them. So that's how the new satellites are coming up.
Yeah, anyone else from student side?
Yes, sir, I have a doubt.
Yes,
Yes,
Karthik,
sir.
you can ask.
How do you see India's future in space study? And can you tell more about Mission Shakti?
I'm sorry, like, can you just repeat the question?
He's asking about Mission Shakti, Ratnesh, Mission Shakti of DRDO, no?
Acha, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I think Raviji, you can answer that. That you'll be the best person.
Mission Shakti is a project started by DRDO. Actually, India was trying to come in the four club. Like we have Russia, we are having US, and we are having China. So India also built a missile which can hit satellite in the space, because now every country is looking for a space war. So that's how we have built it, and successfully it was hit in a low Earth orbit by DRDO missile. So that is all about Mission Shakti, and it is giving another edge for India to fight in a space war, and we are now fourth country in the world to have this kind of technology. Yeah.
Right, very right. Yes.
Anyone else?
Satellite.
Anyone else want to ask any question?
Do we have more questions from the student side?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one more is there.
Yes, please ask.
Sir, like around normal, basically, when the astronauts they go to space, of basically like how much time or how many days of training they basically get to be going before in the space.
Wow, nice. So what I know personally, as the astronaut training they do is for years. Okay, so minimum 2 years of training is there for them, and also depending on the mission which they are doing, the training time varies. Okay, so generally the astronauts who go in the space, for some research or for exploration, they stay there for a maximum of 3 months. Okay, around 80 to 90 days. So during that period, they actually stay there. And also, astronauts are not there for a long period because it changes some of the physical and other parts. So that's why, and to manage those things, they actually do a lot of training, minimum of like 2 years. And also, since if you are going on some other missions, it depends. So, and also at what particular stage you are doing, like whether you are doing a biological focus research or anything other research. So accordingly, the training is okay. Like for a space flight things, if you are just on the mission control side, you need a lot of training. And also on ground staff, they need a lot different types of training. So that's how this is. Yeah.
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Yeah, please proceed. Please proceed. Yeah.
On Mangalyaan. Sir, like India, like on what was the ranking of India? Like when Mangalyaan was sent on Mars, so or any of the satellite, is there any possibility that through satellite they bought some of the presence of the soil or that they have ever bring it to Earth?
Right. So, so for any such missions which are outside this Earth thing, either to Moon or Mars, okay. So there are two things. Either do they the research with the satellites present there and just sending the data back to the Earth, okay, through the communication. So for Mangalyaan thing, there is one orbiter part which is continuously revolving around the Mars and taking the pictures, taking the taking pictures in a sense that they will be able to communicate things. Okay. But apart from that, there are Mars rover things. Okay. So orbiter is something separate, which is basically taking the pictures, taking the data with the time and continuously sending us the data. And then there is a Mars rover, which is actually something which is a sort of a robot which actually gets into the Mars surface. Okay. And there it collects the sample, it does the scanning and do the research and then send the data back to the orbiter and then from there back to the ground station of Earth. So that's how this research are done. It is not like they are bringing the soil back to the Earth, but they are actually taking those samples and doing the research. So that's how this communications and research works.
Yeah, children's, any other question and, you can ask?
And for ranking, like for ranking, so for any space project, don't ever consider on the ranking because every space project is important and crucial in the field of mankind. So that's how the Mangalyaan also had so many other importance in India.
Any other student want to
wind up with one more question, sir. We have Ashi again with the last question. Yes, Ashi.
Sure. Sir, I have a question. When the what is the first measure is taken into consideration when making a new project related to space or satellite? Which area is like most? Which area are you most concerned about or least concerned about while making a satellite?
Okay, nice. So one thing is I can confuse you with this because everything can be linked to the space. Okay. So either you are a bioscience student or a civil engineer or a metallurgy or anything could be linked to the space thing. So that is definitely a best answer, but it is definitely confusing. That's why what I can personally do in this project. So for that, I'll just like to share for 2 more minutes with you. So at this particular stage as a school student, you can take a part in any of those satellite challenges, satellite competitions, where you are actually building something. So every satellite has different parts like mechanical, electrical, communication, control. So you are actually building some of the things. You can build your ground station in your school and actually track the satellite. And when you will be able to track the satellite, you will be able to get that feel ki now like a movie like in India, I'm not sure, like Koi Mil Gaya movies where you get the signal from space. So that type of thing could be done with either building the ground station And also, if you want to, if you get interested in it and you want to go ahead, you can build the satellite first starting with a 3D model, then going back to a design of it, then going back to a basic communication of it, then taking solar panel and doing some charging, and then just checking whether this thing could work or not. So that's how a bit by bit these projects could be worked on. But I'm sure if you want to be in any of the field which interests you, can be linked to the satellite. So there are astronauts who are from the biology field. There are astronauts from the material field. So that's why everything gets linked to it. You only need to know what is your interest and what you are focused to do it. So yes, I think I might have answered your question.
Yes, sir. So kindly allow me to welcome our dearest principal, Professor
Yes.
He has joined us, and children, I'll be grateful if we can all turn on your videos so we can have a better look rather than looking at these default screens. It will be really wonderful if you can turn on your videos and show yourself up. Sir, can we have you with us today?
Thank you, Mrs. Ambili. Thank you, everyone. IDYM Foundation people. Like let me thank first. I have to thank Mr. Mahajan sir, Pramod Mahajan sir, who has initiated this program for our students. Though we have a program here, Astronauts Club in the school, but still we were asked by him that most of the scientists will be joined, and I was very much impressed with the engineer Ratnesh Mishra's talk and explanation about all these satellite and everything. I feel like that I want to make them continue this program next. When is the program, I'm asking? Actually, when is the next program? Because number of webinars are going on, but not that much interested. But this is very much interesting subject, and the subject which is igniting and rendering a service. The students are very much enthusiastic. Like students are very much asking that number of questions. She asked a number of questions. I think confused also you people. So the thing is,
it was great. It was great. We are enjoying that.
The thing is like that, Ashi, like we have, many students who are, enthusiastic and who are, very much interested in astronauts, satellite and everything. Sir, please guide us whenever. But you make it like, monthly one program. Okay, not a problem. But monthly 30 programs means it is a problem. So the thing is what the problem is what we have number of programs conducted by the teachers and the students and everyone, and you please guide us. And mainly I just thank Wing Commander Sanjay sir, then Engineer sir, Ratnesh sir, Dr. Pramod sir. I don't know whether Pramod sir has joined us.
Pramod sir, he joined us, sir, but because of time, he has to go.
Yeah. Okay, sir. And let me thank our founder of IDYM, that is Engineer Ravi Shankar sir. On behalf of the scholars family, it's like I have interrupted your program actually. So the thing is, I'm very much interested, and sorry, I have to say that on behalf of my management, on behalf of my scholars family, on behalf of PTC, on behalf of the whole family members, I thank you, sir, for your kind guidance and the information given to these students. Thank you once again. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, and amazing to talk with you. And definitely, we want your school to build one microsatellite for your country, and we will really help them out. We have a great scientist like Ratnesh Mishra. We have few more scientists, but today's session they can't come because there is some limit is there. We have very great scientists in our team. They will help definitely the children to build their own satellite. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So sir, can we conclude the meeting?
Ratnesh sir, you have to keep in touch with us.
Yes, definitely. So
with the help of all other engineers and all these people, like.
Perfect. So, thank you very much for all this excitement, and I'm sure the next program will be done by your school students rather than I being there. So I would be just there to actually guide, and they will be actually presenting things about the satellite, I'm sure.
Definitely, when the guide is there, then they will definitely do it. Definitely,
yes.
They will do it. Definitely.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Great connecting you all. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, can we just...
Yes,
Hello,
sir,
ma'am,
before
can you hear
we
me?
wind up,
Yes,
yeah,
you can.
before we wind up, I have got our student representative to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, Kulsum.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so on the behalf of scholars, students, I would really heartily like to thank IDM Foundation for providing us this beautiful opportunity, and we got to explore more about the space around us. And I would also like to thank our principal. He, arranged all of this webinar for us, and he gave his permission, and he made arrangements for us to watch it. So I'm really thankful, and I'm sure everyone were pleased by the talks of satellite by the Wing Commander Sanjay Gopal sir. I myself was so fascinated when I heard a Wing Commander coming in here, and then the beautiful journey of Engineer Ratnesh Mishra. Exactly, if you can dream it, you can do it, sir. Really inspiring journey you do have. And lastly, I would like to thank everyone for joining us here today, and have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Can we?
Yes, sir. Now I'm leaving it to you.
Yeah. So yes, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you so much. And definitely we are looking forward to have one satellite from your school, and we will definitely help them to build their own. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you, sir.
all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You can end up the meeting, ma'am, from your side.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much again, once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all, children. You can leave. I'm going to end the meeting from our side.